At the very start, we see a badly injured man stumbling through the woods in pure panic, desperately trying to escape from an unknown figure chasing him. His attacker soon catches up and savagely kills him, then drags his lifeless body deeper into the forest. The scene suddenly shifts to a cheerful family of 4 traveling together in their camper van. They soon pull over to eat, and the father, Keith, begins preparing a barbecue, eventually serving a steak that isn't fully cooked to his son, Jeff. Jeff happily accepts the food, unlike his sister Amy, who refuses to eat and decides to go for a walk instead, leaving her mother Kathleen to argue on her behalf. While the parents continue their discussion, Jeff takes out a couple of chocolate bars and carefully counts them. At the same time, Amy moves far enough away, checks her hidden stash, and secretly takes some for herself. Not long after, the peaceful moment is interrupted when 2 local men arrive in a truck, introducing themselves as Billy and Vern. The pair appear threatening and explain they are searching for their cousin MacLeod, who disappeared the night before. Since they are unfamiliar with the area, Keith says he doesn't know anything about MacLeod, but Vern keeps the conversation going. He starts asking questions about where they live, but Keith remains firm and doesn't open up much, barely showing them any friendliness. Trying to lighten the mood, Jeff offers them some of his chocolate bars as a kind gesture, but Vern instead suggests trading for his own stash. Vern enjoys the chocolate just as Amy returns, and the 2 men stare at her in a disturbing way, as if they are sizing her up. They ask Amy if she has seen MacLeod, but Keith, clearly uneasy, tells her to sit inside the van and apologizes, saying they need to leave quickly. Soon after, the 2 men head back to their truck and drive off without causing trouble. Keith and his family then pack up their things and continue their journey home. However, after some time, they realize they are not safe yet, as they encounter the same men again. This time, the truck appears to have broken down, but Kathleen grows suspicious when she notices Vern holding a shotgun. The men explain that the only towing service nearby is closed that day, and their next option would be to call someone from their home for help. They ask the family for a ride since their vehicle isn't working, mentioning that the family is heading toward their town anyway. Sensing their discomfort about the weapon, Vern suggests that Keith could at least take Billy along and leave him behind. Despite Kathleen's concern, Keith reluctantly agrees, and they begin driving to drop Billy off at his home. During the ride, Billy talks constantly and even starts a game with Jeff, though Kathleen still feels uneasy about him. Billy casually describes his home, saying he lives there with his uncle and cousins, repeatedly insisting that they are kind people. He adds that his cousins have been managing the place since they were very young. But the situation suddenly turns dark when Billy picks up Jeff's notebook to continue the game. Billy becomes shocked and anxious when he realizes the notebook belongs to their missing cousin, MacLeod. Out of nowhere, Jeff attacks Billy. Strangely, no one in the family reacts, as if nothing unusual has happened, even while Billy slowly dies. It is then revealed that the family had already killed MacLeod the previous night for reasons only they understand. Meanwhile, one of Billy's cousins is shown finishing her routine and putting away her weapon. Back in the camper, the family gets to work cutting up Billy's body before storing it in their freezer, exposing their cannibalistic behavior. Kathleen even hands Amy what appears to be an eyeball, which is revealed to be her favorite part. At that moment, Billy's phone starts ringing, and Keith immediately destroys it. He then reminds everyone to hurry, as they don't want to keep their host waiting. At Billy's home, his uncle, known as Pa, sits down for dinner with Billy's cousins, Julie and Savannah. A few minutes later, a knock on the door interrupts them, and they are surprised to find Keith and his family standing outside. The family explains that Billy directed them there after they met on the road. They say they ran into him when their camper had trouble, while Billy and Vern were searching for MacLeod. Hearing this, the cousins welcome them inside. Keith quickly tests the situation by asking to use their phone, and he feels relieved when he learns that only Billy had one. However, as dinner continues, Savannah wonders why Billy didn't simply drive them back if they had already met him on the road. Kathleen responds by saying Billy had been walking while searching for MacLeod with Vern, since the vehicle was with Vern, who was moving separately. That answer instantly raises suspicion, and they all become cautious, pulling out their weapons to confront the family. But all of a sudden, a massive man known as Big Mac arrives for dinner. His sudden presence unsettles everyone, forcing them to quickly hide their weapons. Meanwhile, Vern waits by the roadside, repeatedly trying to call Billy, but the phone remains switched off. A car soon pulls up nearby, and Vern feels relieved, assuming it's Billy returning. However, it turns out to be the local deputy sheriff, who had previously annoyed Vern with a false accusation. After that, Vern apologizes and asks for a ride on the cold night, but the officer refuses. Vern then mentions that a generous family from LA gave Billy a lift, and he should be back soon. Even after noticing Vern's suspicious condition, the deputy chooses to leave. It is revealed that Jeff had given Vern chocolate bars laced with something, which upset his stomach and caused repeated vomiting. Back at the house, Jeff offers his candies to everyone. Pa declines, saying no one in the house eats sweets to protect their teeth. Still, Julie takes 2 pieces from Jeff and shares one with Big Mac. Later, Amy excuses herself, saying she needs to use the bathroom. Instead, she uses the moment to prepare her hidden stash. She becomes tense when Savannah waits just outside the door. Without realizing it, the eyeball her mother gave her drops to the floor. Amy and Savannah quickly start connecting and enjoying each other's company. But the moment is interrupted when Julie calls them back into the living room. Pa invites everyone to enjoy the night's entertainment. Savannah impresses everyone with her piano performance. Soon after, Pa guides the parents to their room for the night. At the same time, the girls take Jeff to Billy's comfortable room. Since there aren't enough rooms, Julie suggests that Amy stay with Savannah, while she herself hosts Big Mac. Julie also mentions that this arrangement suits her, as she isn't particularly interested in men. In an unexpected twist, Amy feels the same way, though she chooses not to say it out loud. Savannah later goes to tuck Pa into bed. She quietly expresses her concern, saying the guests seem almost too perfect to be genuine. Pa jokes in response, asking if she thinks the visitors plan to kill them one by one and burn the house down. Inside their room, Kathleen feels uneasy because she never wanted to hurt entire families. She explains that she follows certain rules and only targets people who have done wrong or are harmful to society. She insists she has never harmed innocent, decent families before. But Keith reminds her of their mission to remove troubled individuals who lack purpose, whom they label as lowlifes. It is revealed that they travel to remote areas from time to time to eliminate disadvantaged people, believing they are saving them from misery. However, Kathleen argues that this family might simply be living off the grid, especially since Savannah was recently accepted into a community college. After this, Keith goes to Jeff's room to explain his plan, making sure the boy doesn't act impulsively. He intends to divide the targets among them and tells Jeff to stay away from Big Mac, as he plans to handle him personally. Meanwhile, Vern, now convinced that something bad has happened to Billy, starts walking to search for him. Back inside the house, Savannah is surprised to see Amy talking on her phone with her lover, Blair, even though they previously acted like they didn't have one. Amy explains that her phone battery is nearly dead, so she had been saving it. After that, they prepare to go to sleep. Unknown to Savannah, her sister Julie is in the bathroom, vomiting as the effects of the tainted chocolate begin to hit. Big Mac is also affected and rushes outside to throw up. Back in the room, Amy shares that her mother supports her choices, but they've kept it hidden from her strict father. As the 2 girls spend time together, Amy's family begins putting their plan into motion. Keith quietly heads upstairs toward Pa's room. At the same time, Jeff appears silently behind Big Mac. He suddenly attacks, landing several quick strikes on the large man. Meanwhile, Amy offers Savannah something to smoke, saying it helps her relax. Back outside, Jeff initially gains the advantage in the fight. But Big Mac quickly turns the tables, knocking Jeff to the ground. He is about to finish him off when he suddenly feels the urge to vomit. This gives Jeff the chance to stop him by blocking his throat while he is gagging. Keith, who has reached Pa's room, witnesses all of this through the window. He panics at what he sees and wakes the old man in shock. After killing Pa by splitting his head open, Keith calls Jeff back in and lectures him for not following the plan. His mother also scolds him, warning that his reckless move could have gotten him killed. Even so, Keith secretly praises Jeff's bravery and rewards him with Big Mac's tongue. At the same time, Amy quietly takes out her weapon. But when Savannah suddenly changes her mind, Amy falls off the bed and lands on her own blade. She quickly explains that she carries it for protection, and Savannah brings supplies to stitch her wound. Seeing how capable and skilled Savannah is, Amy hesitates to kill her, admiring her courage and abilities, which don't match the kind of targets her family usually chooses. As Savannah steps out to grab her medical kit, she hears strange noises. She is shocked to find the family's camper parked nearby, even though they had claimed it broke down far away. After Keith and Kathleen step out of it, she decides to take a closer look out of curiosity. It doesn't take long before she discovers Big Mac's horribly mutilated body inside. Meanwhile, Julie finds the eyeball Amy dropped earlier, leaving her horrified. She rushes toward Pa's room in panic. But when she gets there, she is terrified by what she sees. Keith suddenly grabs her so Kathleen can take her share. Jeff is brought in by Keith to watch, as his hesitant mother prepares to do it for the first time. Everyone gathers around while Kathleen gets ready. But suddenly, an arrow flies through her neck, cutting everything short. Savannah successfully takes one of them down with her skill and prepares to fight the rest of the family. Because of this, the family avoids going near the windows. Seeing her mother dead, Amy screams at her father, insisting that these people are not drifters or worthless outsiders. But Keith dismisses them, claiming they mean nothing. Seeking revenge, Keith ties Julie up and tortures her, knowing Savannah will come for her. As expected, Savannah sneaks in through the window into her bedroom. There, she finds Amy's phone. She quickly calls for help but cannot fully explain the situation before Jeff overhears and approaches. The deputy sheriff who receives the call informs his superior that the phone number and area code trace back to Los Angeles. He remembers Vern mentioning that a kind family from LA gave Billy a ride. Meanwhile, Savannah easily overpowers Jeff. She then uses him as leverage to demand her sister's release. However, Keith threatens to kill Julie, and Amy begs Savannah to release Jeff, knowing her father will not hesitate. Afraid for her sister's life, Savannah lets Jeff go. But Amy betrays her, helping capture Savannah. Her unhinged father then cooks Big Mac's tongue. He mockingly asks Julie if the smell seems familiar. To make it clear, Keith brings out Big Mac's severed arm, horrifying her. This only strengthens the sister's refusal to eat the meat. In response, Keith becomes violent. He brutally cuts off Julie's thumb and eats it. Then he moves toward Savannah, planning to remove her skilled fingers. But at the last second, Savannah blurts something out that stops him. She claims that Amy had been intimate with her. Seeing his reaction, she reveals Amy's hidden sexuality and drug use, shocking Keith. As the father and daughter argue over this, Savannah takes the opportunity to attempt her escape. She manages to free herself just in time. She secretly grabs a fork and stabs Keith in the eye. Amy reacts instantly. Shockingly, Keith eats his own injured eye. At that moment, Vern finally arrives at the house and shoots Keith, briefly stopping him. But Jeff quickly steps in to help his father. Chaos erupts as everyone fights desperately to survive. Savannah clashes with Jeff and leads him into the kitchen. There, she burns his hand and throws boiling water onto his face. As he weakens from the pain, she presses on his neck until he dies. While Vern fights Keith, Keith grabs a knife and stabs Vern, killing him instantly. Satisfied, Keith turns back. But Julie, now free, takes the chance to slash him deeply. After this, the sisters finally feel a moment of relief. But they soon realize it isn't over. Amy suddenly rises and fatally stabs Julie. Filled with rage, Savannah attacks Amy. She brutally beats her down and smashes her face into the piano. However, instead of finishing her immediately, she drags it out, making her suffer and telling her to run. But just as Savannah is about to end everything, she is suddenly shot and killed by the clueless deputy sheriff who has just arrived. The deputy misreads the entire situation. He believes the visitors were victims who were mistreated by the household. He quickly calls for medical assistance. He also reports that the locals killed an innocent tourist family. Moments later, he hears a noise. He goes to investigate, which leads him to the family's camper. And then suddenly, now free, the psychotic girl sets the house on fire. The film ends with Amy driving away in her family's camper, still consumed by evil.